Hi there, everybody. Thank you so much for getting those soulmates reading from me. I'm so sorry that I had to take a short little break. As I mentioned before, I've been doing some healing. I've been going through it a little bit with my personal matters and my family, and I just haven't been feeling like myself, but I feel pretty good the last couple of days, and I've been catching up on readings. I always want to make sure I'm in the right headspace for all of you so that we can get the right messages. We're gonna catch up on your soulmate readings for you, and I also, there's one person who didn't get a soulmate reading, and I'm just gonna do your reading here. Hello to that person. Hey, and I will see you there. Thank you so much. Your timestamps are in the description below. Love you. See you there. Hi there, it's Jerry Art. Thank you so much for getting a reading. I say again, I really do appreciate the patience, and I hope that it is worth the wait. You said, I'm not gonna read your first and last name since this is public. You said this is for you to tune in to me better. Please, if you can give me a soulmate reading in the next 6 months, or as far as you can see into the future, any clue or hint when I meet them. I'll do my best for you. Thank you very much, Toothless. Let's see what we got. Let's see, let me get back here. Get that down here. Wait, oh wow, I'm more caught up than I thought. Wait, is this Toothless? It is Toothless. You've got 2 names. That's okay. Let's see what we have. We're gonna pull for who they are at the top, and then how you meet them at the bottom. Alright, it's Jerry Art. Who are they when you meet them, and how do you meet them at the bottom? We've got Lover. That's pretty good. We've got Femme Fatale, and we also have Addict. This is interesting. I think that when you... Actually, I feel this very strongly. When you meet them, I do think that they will come on very, very strong. To the point that it might be a bit scary. Super into you, texting you all the time, probably a little bit pushy. And I think that there will be a talk... This is so specific, I'm so sorry. But there is a talk about codependency that I think that you will have to have. Because I think that in the beginning of your relationship, things are very intense, things are very fun, things are extremely... it's just highly energetic, right? It feels like you're in a high. It feels like you're in a high. And I think... Oh, look at that. The 10 of Swords. Yeah, dude. And yeah. So it'll be like both of you will expect each other to keep up this high and to keep talking to each other constantly. And over and over and over again, you'll run into this issue. I don't want to say over and over again. That's a little bit rude to say. Probably like the first maybe year of your relationship, you'll realize that there's a little bit of an unhealthy, like we've been spending days, mornings, nights, evenings, you know, all day, every day with each other. And we're a bit too attached to the hip. We need to take a step back. I know this is so specific, but this is what Spirit is telling me. It'll be fun. You know, both of you will be very much in love. I think that this person really, really loves romance. You know, they love novels. They love shows about romance. You guys might even watch things like, I don't know why I'm seeing you guys watch like romance shows, like anime or things like Love Island. It's okay if you guys don't like Love Island. I know Love Island's kind of a gross show, but but it's just like you enjoy a lot of things that have to do with couples, and it's very exciting and intense. But like I said, both of you might have to rework the balance in your relationship. And that's okay. That's okay. I think that this is such a like first love sort of thing. Like first, we're both deeply in love and intertwined with each other, and we have a lot of expectations and we're excited sort of love. And so that's not to say that they aren't going to last. I just think that there are some kind of a few roller coasters in the beginning just because the energy is so intense, okay? And this is how gonna know this is them. Now, I want to remind you, Jerry, that we have multiple soulmates. You know, some of us are born with one, some of us are born with 2, 3, 4, and I don't want you to think like, oh yeah, this is a person I'm meant to be with, and if I'm not with them, my life is over. Soulmates aren't meant to be something that we have like 10 kids with and we build our family castle. You know what I mean? And we have a legacy that echoes into beyond time. Like, that's nice. You can have that, but I do think that spirit and our souls oftentimes put relationships that we're meant to experience in front of us so that we can grow together. But just know that we have free will, and if this doesn't feel like something that you want to continue forever and ever, just because I told you in a reading that they're your soulmate, that doesn't mean you have to suffer. If both of you aren't growing, because there's a lot of growth that will happen in this relationship, then, you know, obviously you can't heal if someone isn't healing with you. You can't grow if someone isn't matching the same rate as you. But you can be patient, or you can give them grace. Everybody grows at different rates, but if it's stifling, if it's threatening your peace, then it's okay to take a step back. But I want you to know that this is how you know this is the person I'm talking about. Very attractive. Both of you are very attracted to each other. Once again, they love romance stuff. Like, and they have really big dreams. Like, this is somebody who has their whole life planned. They're like, yep, I'm gonna move here, and I'm gonna have this many kids, and I'm gonna have this animals, and I'm gonna have you know, this is the kind of person they are. They just have really big dreams and goals and aspirations, and that's okay. I just think that both of you are going to teach each other how to be realistic about it. And that realism can be, if we have that balance, it can be a magical experience that both of you can have, that can make last, okay? Because the Magician card says it is what you make it. Now, is it gonna come in soon? I don't think so, to be honest. You might not like this, Jerry. I'm really sorry. I know you're interested in the next 6 months, but this feels like something that will happen in the next like two years. And so I don't know if that makes you happy or sad, but that's what I was seeing Spirit show me very clearly. Like, they had a crumpled up a piece of paper and they unfolded it for me, and I saw 2 years. So that's the soonest it'll come in. And I think it'll be fun. I think it'll be intense. I think it'll be very loving. And yeah. But at the same time, there might be some challenges, especially around codependency. But we can heal that. We can heal that. Okay. Thank you, it's Jerry. All right, I hope that you like that. Thank you very, very much. Good luck with everything you are endeavoring. And remember that you're never alone and you are loved. See you later. Hi there, bitinggales. Thank you very much for getting a little reading from me. I hope that's worth the wait. Thank you for being sweet and patient. Let's see if you wrote anything. Yeah. He said, hi, Ron. I'm meeting my ex-boyfriend for lunch later this month, but was wondering if the cards think that there's any possibility of getting back together, or if he's firmly settled in the matters of the heart. Thank you again for your lives. Oh, of course. Let's see what we have. What do you have for that? What does Spirit want you to know about getting back together with them? You're so nice for trusting me with this. I'm sorry it took me some time. Okay. Let's see, what do we have? Justice. You know, I'll say this. The Justice card means getting what you deserve, but it also means truth, honesty, clarity. Imagine, so here's how I see the conversation playing out. I don't know why, but I pulled Justice, and as soon as I pulled it, I heard Spirit say settling the score. And so there's an energy about you that I feel will be quite shocking to your you know, your ex-partner. And that energy is beauty. It's attraction. They're seeing you in a different lens. There's something about you that feels more independent. You feel more confident. You're sitting up straighter. You're dressing a bit in a way that really enhances your attractiveness. And when I say beauty, like I don't know what gender you are. I don't know if you're a woman or a man, but you're more attractive. You know, yes, like it's really just point blank period. Your energy is more attractive to them all of a sudden. And I think that this will really get their mind turning. Now, could this turn into something romantic again? Well, the Knight of Pentacles does say that over time, and because it's slow and steady wins the race, it could develop into something more, but it is over time. You know, I don't think it's necessarily right away, but I wouldn't be surprised that after your lunch, especially if you kind of leave them be and you don't text them and you kind of let them come after you, let them chase you, I do think it could turn into something else, but it'll take time. The challenge is the Two of Wands. This is the decision, and the advice is attack. Not Spirit saying wrong choice. Let's see why we got the Tower. Okay. Spirit might be like, you could do better, but let's see why we got the Tower. Spirit is advising you to just accept that Tower fell and that it's time to, you know, focus on healing, focus on other things that have better foundations. Okay, let's see. But I understand if you love them and you want to be with them again. You know, I'm not trying to say don't do that, but I try to read the cards as they are, you know. Try to be honest. Ooh, the Chariot. We got the Tower, the Chariot. Ooh. Holy shit! You're gonna run into somebody new! You're gonna run into somebody new. You have the Emperor and the Empress. Is it somebody new? Honestly, I don't see... It's challenging this. Seeing things. Oh, it's not somebody new. Yeah, girl. Okay, I don't know if you're a girl, but I'll just say girl, okay? I actually do see a very important relationship coming your way. If it's this person, I mean good, but it has to be an energy that you feel is bettering you, and it's new, and you don't have to question, and you're not insecure, because we have a divine couple in this. This is the god and goddess energy. And the Empress means I'm in control, and I'm ambitious, and I'm driven, and I'm willing to take action and do what it takes to protect. And the Empress is all about I'm healing, I'm growing, I'm abundant, I am attracting, you know, this is Mars and this is Venus energy. And so I'll say this, trust that there is something on the horizon, but your challenge is to see it from a new perspective, dude. Is this the same relationship? Let me just ask, because it might be. The Five of Wands is like, let's see if, is this you and your ex? Oh, not my nail falling off. My nail fell off. Okay. No, it's not. Okay, I didn't think so at first, but I saw the Nine of Wands behind him, and I was kind of like, is that him? No, I actually do think that there is a different person, but if you go back to your ex, it's gonna take longer to get with them. Like if you focus on the past too much, this new thing is gonna take longer to manifest. And I know that's not fun to hear, but it makes so much sense. That's why we got the Knight of Pentacles earlier. Okay, alright. We're gonna leave it there, Bitinggales. I'm sorry if that's not what you want to hear, but that's what I have. And remember, you know, the future's in set in stone. You do have control, you have free will, so remember, if you didn't like it, you don't have to accept it, but that's what I got. I'll see you later. Remember that you're never alone and you are loved. Bye-bye. Hi there, Bino Eddy. Thank you very much for getting a little soulmate reading from me. You said, can I have another soulmate reading? I want to know how I meet them. Thank you a lot, Ron. Yeah! Let's pull for the energy of meeting them. Let's see what we got. What do we have? Thanks for trusting me. I hope that you like it. I hope it's worth the wait. I really do appreciate people who are patient and sweet like you. Okay, what do we get? What do we get? Ooh. Interesting. Well, I'll say this. You're definitely... There is some pain we have to experience beforehand. Now, pain is what fashions our soul, alright? I know, it's not fun. It's very Saturn energy here. The Seven of Swords means feeling lied to, feeling stolen from, and the Ten of Swords is being a bit defeated. But we have the Fool card, and the Fool card is about, I'm going on a new journey, I'm taking a new path, I'm a new me, and I'm excited to be different. And so the Ten of Swords is like a painful end, right? Like, oh my gosh, that's really sucked. I'll have to see. It does seem like you might go through a heartbreak before you're ready for something as intense as a soulmate. That's not to say like you shouldn't date. In fact, that should encourage you to date. It's important that we get experience. It's important that we learn what it is that we need and in our relationships to feel fulfilled and to know how to love and know what we are like in a relationship and what we don't enjoy in our partners and what red flags are and what green flags are for us, right? All of that stuff. It's important. And I see you kind of learning the hard way. And you know, you may for a while not want to date just because we have the Ten of Swords. It's like, man, that sucked. I kind of need a break. And during that break, I see you running into them. You know, the Fool means I'm trying out something new. Look, we even have at the bottom the Wheel of Fortune. This is fated events. This is things unfolding in your favor. Let's see what happened. Because like I said, it could be a breakup, but it could also mean like just life is really running you through. I'm not trying to tell you like, oh yeah, like you have to experience this. It's just part of being on Earth, right? These are the soul lessons and stipulations we need to get where we want to be, and that's with our, you know, with someone that we love unconditionally. Ooh, Justice. And the seven... Interesting. Oh my gosh, it came up again. It's actually not... I mean, I think a breakup is in the midst of this, but it's more so you really wanting to reinvent your whole life. It's not just an ex, it's also, you know, your job and where you live and some commitments that just aren't doing it for you anymore. You're like, I can't live this life. I really want to have change. I really want to be free and be confident and not feel small anymore. And so I see you breaking away from things that have been chaining you since childhood, you know, making you small. It could have to do, like I said, where you live. It could be family situations. Whatever it is, you put your foot down, and it's not a fun process, but you know it needs to happen. And it does kind of feel like it'll be over a couple years span. Maybe like two years of you kind of getting out of this energy, but then you run into your, oh my gosh, there's the sun, happiness, joy, success. I'm independent, I'm free. This is freedom. And when you see them, you just know that, and you feel confident to approach them. And yeah, I think you're gonna be the one that approaches them actually. So that's what I have. I hope that you like that, Bino. Thank you very, very much. Good luck with everything you are endeavoring. And remember that you're never alone and you are loved. See you later. Bye-bye. Hi, brekker-san. Thank you. Wait, let me see if I can put your timestamp in. Oops. Okay, now I did. Hi. Hi, Brekker. Thank you very much for getting a little reading from me. You said, hi, Ron. Happy to see you tonight. I'm happy. I was happy that you were there. Thank you. I'm sorry it took me so long. I may be asleep when you see this, but I wanted to send love and see what the cards had in mind for me today. Thanks as always. Yeah, let's see what we got. Let's see what we got. It's okay. I think I was doing soulmate readings that night, but let's see what Spirit wants you to know right now. I kind of feel like doing this deck too. I want to see what you're stepping out of and stepping into. And then I'll draw some cards in between too. I don't know. I was just seeing that in my head. So I feel like that's what I should do. I don't usually do that, friend. Interesting. Here's what you're stepping out of. It says mediator, negotiating with an ulterior motive or hidden agenda, either personally or professionally. So you could be encountering somebody who is trying, kind of like saying they're on your side, but they're not quite picking a side at the same time. And you know that they should really take, I don't know, yeah, there could be somebody who is just like, I don't want to get into the middle of this, but you really needed a friend or you really needed somebody to stand up for you. But we have Saboteur coming in. It says, highlights your fear of self-empowerment and the changes it would bring to your life. It's almost like realizing what is sabotaging your success, understanding how you've been hurt, you know, shooting yourself in the foot in certain ways. And I do think it has to do with some sort of connection or, you know, something that you're doing where it's like, yeah, this is fine, but it's not actually fine. Let's see what Spirit has to say about this. Ooh, yes, dude. Yeah. There is something that you've had to really play it small, play it safe, play it cool with. And it's hard to be around this person. I thought at first maybe this is somebody other than you, but I think that this is you. Like, you've been having to play it safe. You've been having to really dull it down and reel it back so that you don't trigger somebody. I'm really glad that we clarified this. And I think that you're realizing how you don't have to put up with it. You don't have to put up with this, but also that this isn't loving. You realize that this isn't loving not only to them, but also to yourself. You know, having to pretend that everything is okay. Having to pretend that you're not hurt or you aren't thinking a certain thing. Just know, I do feel that you will have a moment where you kind of spill the beans and share what you're really thinking. It could have to do with work or a personal relationship. I think it's a personal relationship personally, but it'll be very relieving. And I think that the reason why it says saboteur, like I said, you're realizing how this is sabotaging you, not helping you and this person. And so you're going, all right, well, I want to be a good person. I want to tell the truth. I want to be honest. And it might be a little bit harsh. It might not be fun, but I know it needs to be said. And I'm willing to deal with the consequences that come afterwards instead of having to tiptoe or having to pretend or having to play nice. I would rather just be authentic and be honest. That's a lot better and a lot easier for me than just, living in La La Land. Yeah, exactly. And this actually gives you so much healing and so much freedom. It might be painful at first. The Three of Swords does mean, ooh, that's uncomfortable, heartbreak, sadness. But the Ace of Cups comes right after that. And that's emotional healing, emotional wellness, feeling much better. And the King of Wands is, yeah, I should have done this a long time ago. So that's coming in, and I feel good about it. I don't think it'll be as difficult as you think. In fact, something that needs to be released kind of needs to be off of our shoulders anyways. And so just know this might happen, and I think you might be surprised because I was in the beginning picking up on somebody else tiptoeing as well. And yeah, I mean, I guess it takes two to tango, and so both of you have something really important to say to each other. Alrighty, I'm gonna leave it there. Thank you so much, brekker-san. Good luck with everything you are endeavoring, and remember that you're never alone and you are loved. See you later. Bye-bye. Hi, Vicky! Hi, Vicky. How are you? Let me do your little soulmate reading for you. Thank you so much for trusting me. And thank you for your patience. As I mentioned earlier, I really do hope that it's worth the wait and that you like it. It's so sweet of you. Okay, let's see who they are. And at the bottom, we'll pull for how you meet them, or like the energy around meeting them, I should say. Let's see what we got. Oh, okay, one wanted to pop out. Okay, we have this one's been coming out a lot, actually. We have priest, we have some queen. All right, I will say this. I feel like they will come off kind of like, I don't know what gender you're attracted to. If you're into men, they might come off like a lady killer, but they're actually so innocent. They're actually so innocent, and you'd be really surprised to know that they. I don't know if you'll like this. I just got a download. I don't want to say that they are like gender ambiguous. I don't think that's the case, but I do think that they are like. This is so sad. I'm so sorry. I feel like they might be pansexual. I feel like they might be bisexual. You know, I feel like they're very open-minded with like the way that they dress and like what they're attracted to, and so they're a very attractive person. But like I said, I don't know the gender you're attracted to, but they might come off like super. Like I'm seeing somebody dripped out, dude. Like they have a really unique way of dressing, but it looks so fire. Like it's very fashion oriented, and it, like I said, it'll come off as if they're a lady killer, as if they are, you know, they get all the people, but they're actually super innocent. You know, they're not up to any of that stuff. Okay. Oh, the Six of Pentacles, the Emperor, and the Knight of Pentacles. So the conditions around meeting them, or the energy, we have the Six of Pentacles, and this has to do with giving and receiving. And this says to me that both of you are going to be friends before it becomes anything romantic, or even, you know, it might not even become romantic. I'm going to be honest, I don't even know if this is a romantic thing. Let's put a little bit more. Yeah, dude, I'm gonna be honest with you, Vicky. This actually feels like both of you love each other so much and unconditionally. And it might be a bit confusing because it's like, I like you, but I don't know if I like you that way. And I feel like this is a big part of your relationship with this person. I don't want to say it's a situationship or anything like that, because there is reciprocity, there's kindness, there's warmth, but it just feels like you guys are playing it by ear a little bit. But ultimately, you might not even make it something romantic, just because it's like, I don't know if that's what I want. I don't know if that's really the direction we should head in. Yeah. But you stay friends. You stay very, very close. It's interesting because it's like there's this tension between you two, but you have this really wonderful relationship. And I think that you both decide to just, you know what? I don't think that this is a romantic thing. I think you're really cool. I think you're really beautiful. I think you're really interesting, but I don't feel quite the romantic spark, but I love you. And so both of you decide to uplift each other, be there for each other, be very committed to the friendship as well. But it's almost like you guys are in a platonic relationship. I don't know how, it's like you're best friends, but a bit more than that. It's really beautiful, actually. I haven't gotten a reading like this yet, and so I like this a lot. Now, that's not to say, Vicky, that you don't have anybody meant for you romantically. You know, that's not my intention here. That's not what I'm saying at all, actually. But this is a very important soul in your life, okay? This person has a heart of gold, and I think that they uplift you, and I think you uplift them. And it's okay that there's kind of a confusion on what are we, because that gets settled pretty quickly. And both of you decide that, you know, I just love you. I'm just like, I'm in love with you platonically, kind of thing. It's really wonderful. Alrighty, I'm gonna leave it there, Vicky. Thank you so much. Good luck with everything you are endeavoring, and remember that you're never alone and you are loved. See you later.